Hello, gamers. It's me, Demavus. Just had an interesting thing happen in game. We were talking about it was not really religious, pertaining to a religion. I mean, Christianity was mentioned, and another religion may have been mentioned, but generally, it was just a concept about God, a philosophical debate, if you will. And I made a comment that your God is whatever you serve and devote all your time to, what you put your primary focus on. That's your God, and it's as simple as that. As far as people serving their God, which was basically a philosophical comment, and then there was other things said, and of course some people try to stir up anger in others, but for the most part, it was a generalized topic. And then I said something to the effect, "My God is the best game developer ever, and I am one of its favorite avatars." Because meaning that God is a game developer and we're all living in the game that God created, this virtual world or the real world, whatever. It was a philosophical comment, and a mod got in there and started uh, silencing people or banning them from global chat and saying you're not supposed to be talking about religion in here and blah blah blah. And I said, what did I say? I said, apologies. I was speaking more on a philosophical point. I was trying to be philosophical in regards to the concept of God, because if you take philosophy, one of the questions they ask you, give a philosophical response on the topic of God. And then, that was uh, our final test, actually. And the philosophy teacher was actually a Catholic priest. And this was at a community college. But anyway, I was thinking in that regards, and someone just whispered me and said they got muted. That's what it was. They were getting muted, and I didn't get muted, but I thought about it, and I went and reread some of the stuff they said. I didn't really see anything worthy of being muted about, but I only read, maybe a couple minutes into it. I don't know what they were talking about before that. Because you know how you just stop what you're doing and look at chat and see something funny or see something interesting and try to join in on it. It was one of those situations. But anyway, I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I guess I need to delete my priest, delete my demon hunter, delete this demon armor, and anything else that has religious motifs about it so I don't get my account banned, because I've invested way too much time and money on it. And I was being sarcastic, and then all of a sudden, a friendly support mod popped in and was trying to uh, what's the word? Cool everything down, and like tell everybody everything's all right. It can be like the Wild West in here in the chat and all that stuff. And I really didn't see any. There was one character trying to get under people's skin, but the majority of us were just ignoring him, because you always get those trolls that just try to say things to tick people off. And I get it. Religion and politics is the two number one things that cause chaos in social conversations and whatnot. But I went and I was reading their chat rules, and here they are. The Albion Online chat should be friendly and helpful space, and for that reason, there are certain rules for everyone to follow. You may not use racist, sexist, homophobic, or otherwise bigoted slurs. Publicly accuse other players of cheating, hacking, duping, etc., either in-game or on the forums. All reports of cheating, hacking, or exploits should be sent to support at albiononline.com. Spam or encourage spam in the public chat channels. Post material, link material of a pornographic nature. Discuss the trading or selling of game accounts. Dox anyone. Do not, under any circumstance, communicate content found on or related to the user's social media profiles or other sensitive information. This includes, but is not limited to, photographs, real names, or contact details such as email or postal addresses or phone numbers. I didn't even think about that one. But as far as I know, I haven't done that. But that I'm glad I read that because I don't even think about doxing people. I mean, I figure if you put your stuff out there on online in any kind of social thing, you're pretty much up for grabs. But they tell you don't do that. Don't talk about people or release their real name. So I don't understand it, but whatever. I mean, if that's the rule, that's the rule. Uh, email, postal addresses, phone number. That I understand. Threaten a player with violence against their personal person or family. Post links to executable files. Impersonate any mod, GM, sandbox, interactive staff, or similar. Discuss moderator decisions or harass moderators, which people do that all the time. It's like they're trying to get banned. Excessively discuss politics, religion, current affairs, etc. Now, I don't know how long that conversation was going on, and maybe that's why the guy got muted from the global chat. It doesn't say you can't discuss politics, religion, or current affairs. It just says excessively discuss politics, religion, current affairs. I guess to a level to where it starts becoming a problem and making people angry and whatnot. Don't ridicule people for their personal beliefs. You know, I would never do that. I might ask them questions and ask them why they believe the way they believe, but not to insult them or ridicule them. Don't use the global channel if a dedicated channel exists for your topic, trading, or recruiting. Don't spread toxicity. And there's a lot of trolls in there that do that. Don't use the help channel for anything else than asking or answering game related questions. Violating these rules in a public channel can result in a warning or even a ban. This is a general overview of what is unacceptable in the chat. But as a rule, if a mod asks you to stop doing something, then stop. And I didn't even get asked to stop, but you know, he gave an open warning, like, okay, for the second time, I think's what he said, do not talk about religion in this channel. And that's where I got confused because, like I said, I'd only been in on the conversation for maybe 3 minutes, and I didn't realize uh, he or she had given a warning. And if you wish to report someone for breaking these rules, ask for a mod in the chat or write to support at albiononline.com. With this knowledge, you can use Albion's in-game chat to open up a whole new social dimension and elevate your experience. So have fun, be friendly, and see you there. And I totally get this. This is proper. So I can't complain because I didn't get any private warnings or any of that stuff. But a player in the game started whispering me, saying that he just got banned for talking about something, and he said, and I was being nice. I was even, you know, condoning the game and its assets, you know, its religious type assets. And uh, I said, well, rules are rules, and there is no way to pause this. There is no way to pause this. But huh, it's odd. There's no way to pause this. Interesting. But I was, you know, if you look at the store in the game, uh, you know, you'll see you'll see the skins and see it's got lure. Uh, where's the skins at? I want to see the store. That's what I'm trying to get to is the store. Uh, You think they'd have the store right there available to look at. But you know what I'm getting at. They've got a lot of religious, not based on a particular religion, but say like a warlock. You know, a warlock could be all kinds of weird satanic religions. A priest, you know, they got a priest figure and a paladin, and like the priest. Like, what do you think of when you think of priest or hear the word priest? You think of all kinds of religions: Druidic priest, Catholic priest. You know, all these. I guess they call them pagan religious priests. I mean, see what I'm getting at? So it's not that you can't talk about religion in the game. It says excessive religion, but it's a game, so you shouldn't. I believe you shouldn't. You really shouldn't bring real world problems and topics into a game that's fantasy based. You should talk about what's inside the game type thing. So anyway, if somebody attacks you and you want to talk about like being a Christian and then you get attacked, especially young people, just ignore those people. They're called trolls for a reason. They troll you. They say hateful stuff. They try to get under your skin. They try to make you mad so you'll quit the game because they're not even really attacking you. They're attacking the game developers because they're so bitter that they want to run players off and make them leave the game so that's less money the developers will get. They're either mad about the way the game used to be, or maybe something got nerfed or changed in a way they don't like, and they're invested in the game. It's kind of like buyer's remorse, where you bought something and you realize, oh, I don't like this because like an update made it different or whatever, and they can't get their money back. They can't get your time back. So they stay in the game and just make it miserable for everybody else. You know, like they're suffering from buyer's remorse. They can't just let it go. They're trolling, they're griefing. So you just got to ignore those people. And, as long as they don't get too extreme, they're allowed to stay in the game. But boy, I tell you what, I watch them push it. I've seen them attack new players and call them noobs and just ridicule them and say hateful things. And just don't let people like that get to you. You're going to see that in almost every game out there. People can be real turds, real buttheads, hateful, but that's why they do it. Me personally, if I seen somebody in there attacking players, that would be a bannable offense in my book because, those are your customers, your clientele as far as a business perspective goes. And you're in there to be entertained as a gamer, a player, and you don't want to be in a harsh environment. And people that deliberately go in a game and spend hours in the open chat channels just ridiculing people, trying to embarrass them, calling them a stupid noob, whatever. Those people really shouldn't be there, as far as I'm concerned, because it's evident in their chat rules. Don't be toxic. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with the whoever's watching this, and I love this game. I think it's awesome, and respect the mods. I mean, if they tell you to back off on something, just back off. I mean, don't take offense to it. Don't be personal about it. It uh, they may be getting whispers from other players like, "Hey, I find this person offensive. Can you tell them to stop?" And they don't want to say anything open about it. They may be shy, but you may have said something. You may not even intended it to be bad what you said, but people can interpret what you say in many different ways, and sadly, a lot of people are going to interpret what you say negatively. I get accused of that all the time. I'm thinking of it this way, and then they hear it and they turn it into something I wasn't even thinking about. And then I ask them, why are you upset? And they explain it to me. Hopefully, they explain it to me. And then I try to see it from their side. And I'm like, oh, wow, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was thinking like this, and I didn't even realize it could be taken into that perspective. And then normally, the situation diffuses and they say, oh, okay, yeah, I thought you meant this and blah, blah, blah. But people will get angry before they will uh, get to that level where you can discuss how did I upset you kind of thing. A person will shout out, hey, you need to shut up, or I find that offensive, blah, blah, blah. You need to take that somewhere else. And they may just mute you because the game will let you mute players. So they may tell you to, take a flying flip off a bridge and then mute you, and then they will not hear your responses. So you should really be careful what you say. And, communication is like one of the most difficult things we have as a species. I mean, look at the media. Look at all kinds of things where things are taken out of context and twisted for their own agendas and stuff like that. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. And, so it's good to know that it's not forbidden to talk about religion. They just say don't talk excessively about it. But if a mod, like it said in the rules, if a mod asks you to stop, then you should stop. Simple as that. See? If a mod asks you to stop doing something, then stop. And if you wish to report someone for breaking these rules, ask for a mod in the chat or write to support@albiononline.com. So there you go. Most people don't even read this stuff. This is the first time I read it. And I don't see anything wrong with their rules. The rules are good. So anyway, that is my thoughts and feelings on religious and political discussions. The rules on it. Like it says right here, do not talk excessively. Basically, do not excessively discuss politics, religion, or current affairs. That's kind of hard to do because people really get into those conversations, especially if you know how to word what you're saying and draw them in. As I'm an ordained minister, believe it or not, and I'm not really active at the moment. But once you're ordained, you're ordained. But I have a lot of experience in getting people's attention when it comes to giving out a sermon. You don't want people to fall asleep during your sermon. So if you got a knack for your social speaking skills and the way you word things, you can get people engaged. So somebody like me gets in there and starts talking about religion, not on a hostile manner, but on like a philosophical uh, think about this kind of concept type, method. It's going to turn into an excessive discussion. It's going to become extremely excessive, not hostile and not toxic. I hope people will try to turn it into that, but people will almost always try to turn it into a toxic conversation. And so I get it. You just got to remember that it's hard to discuss religion and politics without offending someone, especially other people that engage in the conversation with you and them offending someone, especially if you get a troll in there. Somebody's just deliberately like, oh, I'm gonna make all these people angry. They're talking about this religion or whatever, and I'm gonna get under their skin and I'm gonna try to get them so angry they quit playing the game, kind of thing. So anyway, you just gotta keep those things in mind, and just mute them. I mean, if you find somebody that offends you in the game, you can mute them. You can mute them in chat. You don't even have to see what they're saying, like they don't even exist. So the mute button is your friend. Anyway, wow, I talked about this for 20 minutes. That's crazy. So I hope I hope somebody found this helpful and encouraging, and increase your ability to understand, what the chat rules are in the game. So y'all have fun and long live Albion.